It looks like the underlying charges are shoplifting and failure to appear. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you on that. Again, you have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. I'm going to release you on your own signature on that case, and I'm ordering that you do not go back to the incident location. So whatever store it is they say you shoplifted at, do not go back there. Your next court date on this case is going to be on March 21st, and that is at 9:30 in the morning at Pima County Justice Court. Ma'am, that court date is not likely to change. You have to be there for that hearing or they will issue a warrant. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
Right. Then you also have Tucson City Court cases. Looks like you failed to appear on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to appear, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 more counts of failure to appear. Those cases, ma'am, I will release you on your own signature, but I need you to understand that if you keep failing to appear, at some point a judge is going to keep you in jail. I'm going to release you on your own signature, and I am setting a court date. Let's see.
Can you email these court dates to an email? You're going to get a piece of paper.
You're going to get them in writing on paper, but no, ma'am, I don't have a way to email them to you. I'm sorry.
That would be too convenient.
On that case, I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. You have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear. You could also be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. I'm also required to tell you that if you are convicted of a crime, it may have collateral consequences, including but not limited to immigration consequences. On this case, your next court date is March 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning at Tucson City Court before Judge Hale. And you are going to get all of these in writing. Please make sure that you appear for all your various court dates, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, ma'am.
All right.
Hey, you know what? The court knows. Wait, there's more. The court knows. The court knows that these people, they're not gonna keep track of that damn paper. As soon as they walk out, it's gonna end up in the air. Like they just don't care. So I mean, if imagine if they send it to the email, they could just go on and log into the email and check their email whenever. Because everybody, nowadays everybody has a phone. But nope, they don't want to make it easy for you. They want you to catch a violation. What do you got?
Sir, what is your full name?
5480280.
Come again?
Are you Michael Maga?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So I'm Judge Surio.
What? Oh, it's buffering. He's happy to be there. Shit, he's on a good one.
You're here because you were charged with burglary, and this is your arraignment hearing, okay? Public Defender's Office to represent you. You do have the right to remain silent, okay?
Yeah.
And
Look at that fool.
I am going to release you to pretrial services. I'm ordering that you do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have any firearms or weapons.
I have to go zoom
you
in
must
on
submit
this
to any monitoring or treatment that pretrial recommends or directs. Sir, I'm also ordering you're not allowed to have any contact with the victims, and you can't go to their residence. So you're charged with doing something to someone's mail. You can't go back to that house or talk to the people who live there. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay. I'm also going to order that you do not touch anyone's mail unless it's addressed to you, okay?
Okay.
That was it. Okay.
Okay. So then, sir, your next court date is going to be on March 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
What's up with you,
but
homeboy?
That court date may change. So what I need you to do is I want you to talk to your attorney and talk to pretrial and do what they tell you to do. That way.
March for Washington.
Sir, what? What did you say?
March 1st for the Washington.
So
do you know that?
Your court date is going to be March 11th, okay? But I need you to talk to your attorney and talk to pretrial so you know what you need to do, okay? Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes.
What's your question?
Question is March 1st for the Washington states.
So, sir, I'm gonna move on to the next case. You're gonna get released from custody. Make sure that you do everything you're supposed to do, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Damn it.
Where you going? I can go inside.
Up next on The Price is Wrong. I don't think he's mentally disabled. I think all the usage of those broken glass windows. Oh, we got another one. This was tripping hard too. I gotta go.
All right, so what is your full name?
Let's go ahead and get it.
All right, sir, you are here on a couple different things. First of all, you are charged with possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. Those are felony charges. On those charges, sir, I am going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Pretrial services tells me that you are in the highest risk category for nonviolent felony offenses. The state is asking that I release you to pretrial services. I am not comfortable doing that given the risk assessment and the fact that he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cases in Tucson City Court, and he's failed to appear on all 8 of them, and those are all just from the last 12 months. So I am going to set a bond, but I intend to set a low bond. Defense counsel, do you want to be heard?
Your Honor, I'm so sorry. Yes, if the court's not inclined to place him to pretrial, we are just asking for and asking that a steps hearing be set with the preliminary hearing date still within the next 10 days.
All right.
Yep, it is Paris.
So, sir, I am going to set your bond in the amount of $1,000 secured.
Close your eyes,
If you post that bond, you're released to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. Your next court date on this is a steps hearing on February 26th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sir, it's very important that you appear for that hearing. If you appear for that hearing, you may qualify for a diversion program or a better plea in exchange for doing some treatment. But if you miss that court date, then you're going to lose that opportunity and they're going to indict it and treat it like a regular felony. Sir, I'm also setting a preliminary hearing on March 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. That court date is very likely to change. If you're released from custody, stay in touch with your attorney and with pretrial so that you know when your court date is. Okay, sir, in Tucson City Court, you have charges of shoplifting, possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to appear, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass, shoplifting, 2 more counts of failure to appear, shoplifting, failure to appear, possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 more counts of failure to appear, criminal trespass, shoplifting, and failure to appear, criminal trespass, shoplifting, and failure to appear, and criminal trespass, shoplifting, and failure to appear. Sir, on those cases, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I am appointing the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I am setting bond in the amount of $500 secured. If you post that bond, you are ordered not to go back to the incident. And you cannot have any alcohol or illegal drugs. Sir, you do have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. I'm required to tell you that if you're convicted of a crime, it may have collateral consequences, including but not limited to immigration consequences. Sir, in City Court, your next court date is Video review on February 28th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you are released from custody before then, your court date changes to March 24th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sir, I know that you're not feeling very well right now. Please make sure that you read the paperwork that you get when you're feeling a little better so you know what's expected of you, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
So somebody asked, how come they don't wait until he feels better? It's because by law, he has to be seen. He has to be seen by a judge within a certain amount of time. If he doesn't get seen within that amount of time,
behind me. Give me a moment.
They gotta let him go.
Now you can sit down there.
So you better believe they're gonna do everything in their power to. Man, what's up with this? Is this a vato or a ruca? Hey, but there's a serious problem out there in Pima County.
Hi, ma'am,
that's
what
for
is
sure.
your full name?
Yeah, so if you're open.
All right, ma'am, you are here because you've been charged with a felonies of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Ma'am, pretrial services tells me you are in the highest risk category for nonviolent felony offenses. The state is asking that you be released to pretrial services. Please give me a moment to finish reviewing the paperwork that I have.
You know what? That's what I say. Hey, don't mess with illegal substances because things like this happen. This is the sad reality of it. You do it and you get addicted to it, and next thing you're like this.
Given the risk assessment, the number of cases that are pending in Tucson City Court, your failure to appear in those cases, you have cases going back to 2021 that haven't been resolved, and the fact that you have a new misdemeanor charge of failure to comply with a court order, I'm not comfortable releasing you to pretrial services. Defense counsel, I intend to set a $1,000 bond. Do you want to be heard?
Your Honor, I'm sorry again. If the court's not inclined to release her to pretrial, I would just note that her dad mentioned that he could bring her to court, that she has one prior from 2018, which is not of a similar nature. She is a lifelong resident, so for those reasons, we were asking for pretrial release. However, again, if the court's not inclined, I would just ask for a $500 bond.
I understand, and I hate holding people on these kinds of charges, but I'm required to set release conditions that I believe will assure the person's appearance in court. And I don't believe that releasing her to pretrial will do that. So, ma'am, I am setting bond in the amount of $1,000 secured. If you post that bond, you're released to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. You must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. Your next court date on this case is a preliminary hearing on is a steps hearing on February 26th at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's very important that you appear for that hearing. If you appear for that hearing, you may be able to qualify for either diversion or a better plea offer by doing some outpatient treatment. However, if you miss that hearing, you will lose that opportunity, and they will indict it and treat it like every other felony. I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing on March 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. That court date is likely to change, not the one on February 26th. So make sure that you go to court on the 26th and go back whenever your attorney, pretrial, or the judge tells you to. Ma'am, in Tucson City Court, you have new charges of failure to comply with a court order and possession of drug paraphernalia and obstruction. You also have warrants for failure to appear on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 counts of violating a leash law, 1 count of having a biting animal, 3 more counts of violating the leash law, and then shoplifting. On all of those, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. I'm also required to tell you that if you are convicted of a crime, there may be collateral consequences, including but not limited to immigration consequences. Ma'am, on these cases, I'm setting a bond of $500 secured. I'm ordering that you do not go back to the incident location, do not have any contact with any listed victims, and do not go back to their residence. And I am going to give you a court date. Give me one moment. Is mental health court giving 2 different dates now, not the video review for both?
I'm not sure what her first charge was. I was paying attention to something else. What was her first?
Okay.
Did anybody catch her first? That
All
poor
right, so
dog.
ma'am, I'm going to set your next court date in city court, February 27th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you're in custody, you'll be seen by video. If you're out of custody, you must appear for that hearing. Do you have any questions about your release conditions?
So when do I release under these terms?
Unless you post bond, ma'am, you're going to be in custody until your next hearing. If you post bond, then you would get released. It's $1,500 total between the cases. Good luck, ma'am.
Vayas con Dios. Hey, you know what? And there's something to be learned from watching these hearings. It's not only to get some laughs, but you know, people that are going through things out there.
Yes.
Damn, what's up with this fool's hair? It looks hella fake. He kind of has like the
All right, sir, what is
Abraham
your full
Lincoln,
name?
no, not Washington,
Anthony Soto.
George Washington look.
All right, sir, you are here on a couple different things as well. First of all, you have a warrant out of Santa Cruz County for failure to appear. The underlying charges are theft of means of transportation, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Give me one moment to finish reviewing the paperwork on that one.
Hey, if his hair was white, that'll be like the straight up George Washington right there. I'm not lying, because if I'm lying, I'm dying. Put that fool in a put that fool in
Sir,
a
I'm
quarter.
going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney.
Charos. It was just President's Day. Hey, what a coincidence! He showed up right on time.
See if I can. Does Santa Cruz County have a public defender's office?
Poor guy, roll. Hey, thank you for that follow, Casey. Highly appreciate it. It's free 99. And if anybody's wondering where this is at, this is Maricopa. No, not sorry. This is Pima County, and this is actually happening right now in Arizona. They have court cases all day long, all day, every day. They have it on my birthday, your birthday, on New Year's, on Christmas, on 4th of July, on President's Day. Every single day of the year, they have court. Why? Because they got a problem, and they gotta keep the wheels turning right here.
Sir, I cannot hold you without appointing an attorney, and there is no attorney that I can appoint. So I am going to have to release you to pretrial services on this one. You have been arrested on a warrant, posted bond, and then failed to appear and gotten a new warrant twice already. I highly recommend that you go take care of this case, because otherwise this is going to keep happening. You're going to keep getting arrested. So, sir, you're released to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. I'm ordering that you do not have any contact with the listed victim, and do not go to that person's residence or workplace. I am giving you, he's supposed to contact Santa Cruz for a court date, correct? All right. So, sir, you are required to contact Santa Cruz Superior Court by 4 o'clock on Friday to get a court date. And then you're required to appear for that court date. We will let them know that that was what I ordered. So if they don't hear from you, they will issue a warrant. And if you don't appear, they will issue a warrant.
Do you know if it's possible that they do give out the rides to Santa Cruz County?
If they what in Santa Cruz County?
If they offer rides to Santa Cruz County for court?
I don't know. I'm guessing they don't, but I do know that some judges allow people who can't get there to appear by video on Zoom or Teams or something like that. So if you can't get there, ask them about that, okay?
Okay.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
One moment, because you've got more cases here.
Damn, but wait, there's more.
February 20th.
Hey, let me ask you guys. Maricopa County is going to start right now in about 3 minutes. Do you guys want to stay right here in Pima, or do you want me to switch over to Maricopa County? You guys let me know. We could go and vote on it. If you want to stay, put stay. If you want us to leave to Maricopa County, put leave. Let me know, and we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and figure it out like that. All right. We're on the voting system. Stay.
So on that
Switch.
piece, sir, again, just make sure
Leave.
you call Santa Cruz
Switch.
by 4 o'clock on Friday. Their
Leave.
phone number will be in your paperwork to get that court date, and make sure you go to that and talk to them if you can't get there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, sir, you also have a case in Tucson City Court. It looks like you are charged with obstructing a highway or public thoroughfare, obstruction, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and a warrant issued because you failed to appear for court.
I don't know who's in Maricopa County.
Sir,
right
on that case, I will release you on your own signature. I'm ordering that you appear for court on March 19th at 9:30 in the morning. That's at Tucson City Court with Judge Hale. Again, if you can't get there, call City Court and see if you can appear by Zoom, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were previously arraigned on that one, so I don't need to do the whole arraignment. Sir, do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date?
No, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, sir.
I'm going. Thank you very much, ma'am. God bless you.
I'm doing a poll right now.
Hi, ma'am. What's your full name?
Just adjourn.
All right. Ma'am, you are here because you have a warrant out of Graham County Superior Court. The underlying charges are possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of a dangerous drug. The bond listed on the, oh, wait a minute, this is Superior. No, I take it back. This is a Pima County Superior Court case. You also have a case pending in Graham County, but I'm not seeing you on that one. All right. So this is Pima County Superior Court. Again, the charges are possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Pretrial services tells me that you are in the highest risk category for nonviolent felony offenses, and the state is asking for a $500 bond. Defense counsel.
Your Honor, we are asking for release on this case. She's young, she's 22 years old. She has no prior convictions. I understand that these are pending cases. However, the underlying issue appears to be substance use. We are asking the court to consider her inability to pay. So for those reasons, we are asking for pretrial release. I will note that she's also been a resident in Tucson for approximately 3 years, and so she does have ties to this county.
We're going to switch over to Maricopa.
She's been arrested on these charges multiple times and failed to appear multiple times. I'm not going to release her. I'm going to set the bond that is suggested on the warrant, which is $500 secured. Ma'am, if you post that, you're released to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial.
Is winning.
Your next court date is February 26th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
I'm gonna switch
That's
over right
an
now.
arraignment hearing. It's not a preliminary hearing. So that court date is not going to change. If you post bond, you must be at that hearing or they will issue a warrant. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date?
No, not about that. No.
All right. Good luck, ma'am.
All right, we're switching over, right? Let me switch over really quick here. It just Maricopa just started right now. Where the hell is the Maricopa link at? Here. And these are live. These are happening live in real time right now. Real time. Let me see. Switch it up. All right, cool. I just gotta fix up the screen now. Come on, Maricopa. Come on, Maricopa. Don't fail us now.
If you are eligible for bond and what your release conditions will be. If you have any questions while I'm giving
Let me fix up the screen.
the advisement, I would just ask that you hold your questions until I finish. At this time, I will call
Don't say these things.
Jordan Petty to the podium, and Marquise Young, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Can you state your first and last name and date of birth?
Jordan Petty, December 12th, 2003.
You are here today because you have one new case, and
Thing is buffering.
And then you have a warrant for failing to appear for a hearing. So I'm going to first talk to you about your new case. You were charged with 3 counts of theft of a credit card, a class
I don't know why it's
by
buffering.
felony, 1 count of theft or control over property, a class 1 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of theft and control over stolen property, a class 1 misdemeanor. The first 3 counts for theft of a credit card.
Hold on, I'm gonna refresh the web page. Something's going on. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it might be. Shit. Let me close down. I think it might be my VPN that's messing everything up. Let me turn it off. That fixes the issue.
30, that warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. I would caution you against attempting to post bonds until you find out whether or not you'll be eligible for bond in the other matter.
I just have one question, because I was taken into custody before my court date, and I told them about my court date, because I had intent on going to this morning at 8:30. So I don't know why I'd be getting another failure to appear, because I told them that I had a court date coming up. They said that they'd figure that out.
And for which court?
This most recent one.
No. What other place did you have a court date?
It should have been here.
And was it for Superior Court, or was it for like a city court?
It was Superior. It's for my other drug charges.
I only see these 2 cases, so I don't know what you're talking about. I have your new case that you're here for right now, and then this case where you failed to appear.
What's the date on the failure to appear?
It's that court date was today.
Yeah, that's the one. I was taken in at 1 a.m. and it was 8:30 was the court date. I had told them and notified them about it, so I shouldn't have another charge for that.
Well,
because they had told me they'd take care of that.
Okay.
I can.
The issue that you have at this time, though, is like I'm not sure. Like it's almost inconsequential because you're not bondable.
Well, I would just rather not have an extra charge if not, like, because I did tell them about it and they said that they'd figure it out because I couldn't get down to the jail in time. I was still over in their city jail, so they had to wait to transport me. And they said that they would figure out the court stuff, so I just didn't want another charge on there.
Well, at this point, I mean, I would have to keep a bond on you anyway, just to make sure that you got transported.
Yeah, that's okay. I want to make sure that that charge isn't added on. I'm not worried.
So it's not an additional charge. That's what I want you to understand. You didn't get charged with anything. You didn't get a new case. It's just a warrant that was issued because you didn't appear for the court date. So it's not a new charge.
I'm gonna have the warrant when I get there.
So when you go to your court date on the 27th, the judge will take care of it then. By keeping the bond on you, and make sure that you get transported to that hearing.
Yeah.
Because you're not bondable in the other case.
Yeah.
So by having a bond, we'll make sure that you are transported to that court hearing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, up next on The Price is Wrong. You don't get to choose how many charges you got. You got them already.
Excuse me. Mr. Young, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Stokes, will you please have a seat in the chair? Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Marquise Young, 11/2/95.
You were here today for a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, a class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, a class 5 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a class 1 misdemeanor. I found probable cause as to all counts except for the unlawful flight from law enforcement. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be subject for more bonds. That takes care of everything that we can do here today. If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
I got a question. How is probable cause if I never got pulled over?
So you want to make an argument about?
I'm just asking a question.
So what I did read over, what I found probable cause for, just so that we're clear, is that you were in possession of a weapon and you're a prohibited possessor. I did find probable cause for possession of a narcotic drug. I did find possession of a weapon in a drug offense, and I found probable cause for resisting for arrest. I did not find probable cause for unlawful flight from law enforcement. I did not find probable cause for that count.
Okay.
Okay? All right. If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you paperwork.
You ain't going nowhere.
Mr. Stokes, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Salas, will you please have a seat in the chair?
Damn it.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Sergeant Stokes,
And your date of birth?
4/16/95.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a class 4 felony, 1 count of misconduct with body armor, a class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, a class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to all counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you are able to post bond, you must appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear for your court dates, any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant would be issued for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. So that takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
So pretty much the people that are still in street clothes, they just got arrested within the last day.
Mr. Salas, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Terrazas, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
So this he's
Hello, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Oscar Salas, 72609.
You are here because you have a warrant out of Sierra Vista Justice Court. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have an arraignment hearing on February 24th at 8:30. Your warrant did have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. If you do post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, your bond would be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for your arrest and you'd be subject to more bond. So that takes care of everything that we can do here today. Thank you.
Yeah, why did I get the warrant? Because I wonder, next month I have a court for probation.
This is out of Cochise County.
Oh, yeah,
I don't have access to their paperwork.
Because when I went to court, shouldn't they have arrested me already? Also, if they knew?
You're asking me about what's going on in Cochise County. I do not know. I don't have access to their court system. What I do have is their warrant that says that there was a warrant issued for you. You have a matter there, and you have actually, I do have to change this order because you have multiple bonds. Actually,
what's that?
You have more than $5,000 of bond. This is $12,000.
Damn, this was busy.
Actually, you have it's $14,000 security clearance. I have to fix this according to the warrant. So according to the warrant, you have $14,000 of secured appearance bond. This is out of Cochise County. Whatever issue you have there, you need to address it with them. However you were picked up, the warrant was verified and they have verified that they will come and pick you up. So,
okay. I mean, will I be able to appear in court next month also? Because I have a phone call with them also.
I don't know what's going on. You're asking me to answer a question for a whole nother court in a whole nother county. I cannot. What I can tell you is the information that I have. The information that I have is that there's a warrant for your arrest, and that warrant has a bond on it. So I've advised you of all of that. That's pretty much all I can answer right now. So if you'll go back into holding, they're going to bring you your paperwork once it's ready. If you'll step to the left, they'll bring you your paperwork once it's ready. Mr. Terrazas, if you'll please come into the courtroom, and Mr. Gentle, will you please have a seat in the chair? Hello, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, ma'am. Jose Terrazas, March 29, 1992.
You are here today because you have 2 violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You have a total secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,100 between the 2 cases. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you would be subject to more bond. So that takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Can I ask the question?
Okay.
Sorry. I've never missed a check-in. I've never, I have a job, a career, family. I've done everything that I'm supposed to be doing. So I was caught off guard today when I went to go meet my new PO in Glendale, and I was arrested.
Okay, so according to one of your violations, you did not participate or cooperate in substance abuse.
I have.
I'm just telling you
Okay.
that's what you're asking me why.
Right.
And so they presented that information to the judge in probation violation court. And so whatever information was heard, the court found that it was there was probable cause and revoked your probation. So that's why for one of them. And
you said I could bond out.
Your total secured appearance bond is $1,100. So that's the issue for both of your cases, is that you failed to you failed to actively participate or cooperate in substance abuse treatment at stage counseling.
Okay.
So I appointed an attorney. So if you have any issues or anything that you want to argue, you would need to present that to your attorney.
I'm able to bond out though?
Yes.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Peace out. See you where they want to be,
Mr.
yo.
Gentle, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Fox, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Oh, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Damn, came in on the
Jack
tracksuit.
Gentle, October 21st, 1996.
Thank you. You were here today for a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you attend your court date. If you fail to attend your court date, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued, and you could be subject to more bond.
I was gonna ask, there's no such way I can get a OR.
Nope.
I never had a FTA. Nope. Every time I bonded out, I was always on time. I always went to my court dates. You can look it up.
This is the judge who granted the probation, the revocation of your probation. That's the bond that he set based on the information that he heard. It's not for me to change his order. It's just for me to tell you what that order was. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Pima County, I don't know. It depends. Sometimes they run 2 hours. It all depends on how many people they arrest.
Ms. Fox, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Knopp, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
You know, it all depends on the clientele right here, you know?
Hello. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Tanae Fox, 12/28/1997.
You are here today because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for your sentencing. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing. You have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. Your warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond posted would be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to more bond. That takes care of everything we have to do here today. Thank you.
Hey, let me ask you guys, the next person that's coming up, what do you think they're going to be here for?
If you'll please come into the courtroom, and Mr. Felipe Navarro, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Rugs, we got rugs.
Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Sean Off, 47 of 96.
You were here today because a direct complaint was filed where you were charged with 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is July 7th of 2023. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear for your court dates, any bond posted will be forfeited, and another warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you could be subject to additional bond.
I have a question.
Yes.
They told me I had a $500 bond. What was that for?
The reason why I imposed additional bond was based on the other information that I reviewed regarding your history and failures to appear.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was going to say, I just got through spending 28 days in the Pima County Jail, and then I also had a bed opening at a halfway house that I was going to go to tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, on your way.
That was even an option, but...
On your way, when you got arrested, you were on the way.
I will tell you that based on the information that I'm reviewing, I have, based on your criminal history, you have 32 failures to appear.
32?
Okay.
Sheesh. And your prize right now.
Mr. Uribe Navarro, will you please come into the courtroom?
This is your prize right here.
And
what's behind
Mr.
door
Jones,
number
will you please have
uno?
a seat in the chair.
Are you ready? Get ready. There you go. That's your prize.
And your date of birth?
Yes, Luis Uribe, 07/25/2000.
You were here today because you have a warrant out of Tolleson Municipal Court. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have an arraignment hearing on February 24th at 8:30. I did give you a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50. It's really just a placeholder bond to make sure that you do get transported to your hearing because I know you're being held for something else. If you're able to post bond in your matters, just make sure that you do appear for your court dates. If you fail to do so, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be subject to additional bond. So that takes care of everything that we have to do here today. If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Damn
Mr. Jones, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Geiger, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Daryl Jones, February 4th, 1997.
You are here today for a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. If you are able to post bond, make sure that you attend your court date. If you fail to attend, any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant will be issued for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. Thank you.
Up next on The Price is Wrong.
Mr. Geiger, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Dalton, will you please have a seat in the chair?
What do you guys think this upstanding citizen
So,
is?
sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Taylor Geiger, 7/14/93.
Thank you. You are here today because of a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, make sure that you make it to your court date. If you fail to appear for that court date, any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant would be issued for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that we can do here tonight.
All right, thank you.
Hey, that dude looks like he'll steal
Mr.
some.
Dalton, will you please come into the courtroom?
Like he'll steal some
Mr.
copper.
Woodruff, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
He's gonna steal your copper piping, copper wires.
Well, Mr. Dalton, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Louis Dalton, 12/4/70.
Thank you. You are here for a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to post bond, it is important that you attend your court date. If you fail to attend, any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant will be issued for your arrest and additional bond would likely be imposed. That takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
You don't look too happy. Hey, but that's the thing. When the system gets its claws into you, they make it hard to get out.
Mr. Woodruff, if you'll please come into the courtroom.
And easy to stay in.
Mr. Anderson, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Hello, Mr. Woodruff. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jacob Woodruff, August 30th, 1998.
You were here because you failed to appear for a court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 per warrant, so you have a total secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. If you're able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. You will forfeit the bond that you posted, and additional bond will likely be imposed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It looks
Mr.
like
Anderson,
Drake.
will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Group, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Hey, he's the broke man's version of Drake.
Hello.
The Timo Drake, if you
Can you
will.
please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Dwayne Anderson, date of birth 10/21/1998.
You are here for two matters. You have one violation of probation, and then you have a warrant out of South Mountain Justice Court. On your probation violation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. And then as to your warrant out of South Mountain Justice Court, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter as well. You do have an arraignment hearing on February 24th at 8:30. I did give you a placeholder bond in the amount of $50 since you have the bond on your probation case, just to make sure that you do get transported to that hearing. If you're able to post bond in your matters, make sure that you attend your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to additional bond.
Yes, ma'am.
That takes care of everything that we have to do here this evening. If you want to step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Krupp?
So for the probation violations, you won't hear
Come into the courtroom.
what the original charge was. You're just gonna hear that they
And
caught a violation.
Mr. Urenda, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Skylar Krupp, December 19th, 1983.
You are here today because you have 3 warrants for failing to appear for a court date. An attorney had already been appointed to you in all 3 matters. You do have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 per case. So between 3 cases, your secured appearance bond is $1,500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to more bonds. That takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. Thank you.
Hey, if you're not tapping, you must be napping.
You'll please come into the courtroom, and Mr. Yourself, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Up next on The Price is Wrong. Let's see what's behind door number uno.
Hello, can you state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Mark Urenda, it's March 6th, 1997.
You are here today because you have a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to more bond. That takes care of everything that we can do here today. If you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Oh man, nobody's getting a break today. Everybody.
Mr. Yourself, you'll please come into the courtroom.
The jails must
And
be
Ms.
empty.
Jackson, will you please have a seat in the chair?
The streets are a little bit safer in Maricopa County.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Joe Lawrence Eco, 07/16/1979.
Thank you. You are here today for 2 matters. You have a warrant for failing to appear for a hearing in Superior Court, and then you have a warrant out of Manny C Justice Court. As to your warrant for failing to appear for your court date, in this court, an attorney was already appointed to you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 27th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. And then as to your warrant out of Manny C Justice Court, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have an arraignment hearing on February 24th at 10:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50. That is essentially a placeholder bond to make sure that you do get transported to that hearing due to the bond that was ordered for your failure to appear in this court. If you are able to post bond, you do need to attend your court dates. If you fail to attend your court dates, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that we can do here this evening. If you also to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork concerning these matters.
Thank you.
Ms. Jackson, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Sequoy, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Hello, can you please state your first last name and your date of birth?
Jennifer Jackson, 6/17/1993.
You are here today because you have a warrant out of Santan Justice Court. Due to the nature of the charge, you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 11th at 9 a.m. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. You promise to appear?
Absolutely.
If you fail to appear for your court date, another warrant will be issued for your arrest and bond will likely be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, I wasn't aware of the charge or the court appearance.
Well, your paperwork will have to keep up with your paperwork. It'll tell you when and where, when your court date is and where it is.
Okay.
Okay, so if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Ain't nobody want to hear all of that.
Ask, is there any information about Mike Gilbert, or am I being transferred? Or am
I only have you here for your Santan Justice Court case. I don't have any information for your Gilbert matter.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Sophie, if you'll please come into the courtroom. And Mr. Stola, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Officer, can you please state your first last name and your date of birth?
Abel Godinez Soki, 4601.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with two counts of possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable causes to all those counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on March 6th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March 10th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
If you fail to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court dates, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Stola, will you please come into the courtroom?
Hello.
Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yeah, I live stolen August 31st, 1986.
So you are here because you have a warrant out of El Centro Justice Court. Due to the nature of the offense, you're not entitled to a court-appointed attorney. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 6th at 8:30. I am going to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for that court date.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you fail to appear, another warrant is going to be issued and a bond will likely be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you'll step to your left, the
so much.
officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Adios, amigo. Adios.
Jessica Percival, date of birth, February 14th, 1989. She's unable to participate in person due to bizarre behavior. She is here on 2 matters, 1 new case and then 1 warrant out of Gila County Superior Court. As to the Gila County Superior Court warrant, I did appoint an attorney to represent her. She will have an arraignment hearing on February 24th at 8:30. That warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. On her new case, she was charged with 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, 1 count of taking the identity of another, a class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of false report to law enforcement, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all of those counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent her. She will have a status conference hearing on February 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 27th at 8:30. She will have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. She will need to contact her probation officer within 72 hours of her release.
Right, Rebecca?
And
That's
she will
the
be
best feeling
advised that
ever.
if she is able to post bond, she must appear for her court date. If she fails to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Danielle Yazzie, date of birth, April 19th, 1994, is not present in court due to fighting. She is here on a new case. She is charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of obstruction or refusing to give true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent her. She will have a status conference hearing on March 6th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March 10th at 8:30. She will be released on her own recognizance, and she will be advised that if she fails to appear for her court date, the warrant will be issued for her arrest and a bond will be imposed. I will meet with Ms. Percival and Ms. Yazzie. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. This concludes our 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar. We stand in recess until 11 p.m.
Damn. Hey, so the next hearing is going to be at a little bit under 2.5 hours. This is Pima County Court for those of you that are new here. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. And don't trip. Next week, I'm not gonna be hitting you up for money. That's not my get down. But what I do want that follow. And I just want you to spend some time over here, if you will. Let me see. Are you posting the conclusion? Oh, hey, okay. You got here late. Thank you for asking. I totally forgot about it. We were talking about it for like 10 minutes before we started doing these hearings. Everybody got their everybody got approved. So everybody's in theory gonna get out as long as the governor doesn't take their date away. What's up, Jenna? Yeah, so everybody, even Leslie Klausner, whatever his name is, he's gonna get out unless the governor takes his date away. Trippy, right? Let me see. The other one still on from Pima County? I have no idea. But if you do, I don't think it's on anymore. Normally they run for like about an hour some change. Check. But if they're on, I'm not gonna run it. I gotta get off, man. I've been on here way too long today. Let's see here. Oh no, it's not on anymore. It's off. But yeah, so everybody got found suitable. So everybody's gonna go home. Let me see. Anyhow, hey, like I was saying, if you guys could do me that favor, hit that button, hit that follow button. I would highly appreciate it. I know there's 99 people in here. It's dropping dramatically as I speak. I know that half of you are not following. So what's up? Shoot it. Anyhow, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I really appreciate you guys jumping on today. It's been a long day for me today. Is the other one still on? Nope. I think that was the last question. Anyhow, hey, I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a collect call from. If you haven't done so, go to take a little stroll to the stream. James, you need to change your smoke detector battery. I need to get a 9-volt battery. I'll do it one of these days. I've been thinking about it. I saw you guys talking about it on the chat the other day. You guys got me. Anyhow, hey, I do appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it for now. And I gotta go ahead and relax, man, because I'm like super short on my sleep today, if you will. Hey, thank you for that follow. I see two people follow, but I can't see their names. User followed and Lovely73. Thank you, highly appreciate that. And Haley, hey, bye. See you guys shortly. Maybe, I don't know, depends how I feel. If I feel good, in about 2.5 hours, I'll jump on for a little bit longer. If not, then you guys will see me tomorrow morning. Hey, tomorrow, once again, we're gonna do California again at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the California ones. All right. If you guys want to check out the California ones, they only happen once a month. This month we I guess they had so many people they have to break it up into 2 days. So if you like California, if you were watching it earlier on, definitely tune in tomorrow morning because we're gonna be back in California, nice and early. And who knows what the day's gonna bring. Your email would be more convenient for everyone. What the wait? Anyhow, hey, I'm not going to cut the stream. I gotta go, man. I'm going delusional over here. I can't even think straight anymore. But I do appreciate you guys. I'm Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a Collect Call From. And like I said around here, lights like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. Rato. Hey, all right, Liz. I'll see you later. All right. Thank you.